Hello crochet crafters. Today we're going to do something different. We're going to make a cute little yellow basket using macrame cord, macrame rope, so to speak. It is macrame rope that I bought at a craft store, and you can buy them in these small packages. And I'm not using a regular craft yarn scissor because we need something heavy duty. This is a Westcott, and titanium scissors will work best to cut this type of cord when you're done. And I'm using a large crochet hook today, and I would suggest that you use an 11 or 12. This is a 10.5. That's okay. That's probably the smallest you want to go for a basket. And I'm going to go ahead and open up my yellow macrame yarn. And this kind of a project, the yarn is really pretty thick, so it takes a lot, and we're going to make a small basket for whatever you want. So go ahead, and we're using let's make sure you know, this is a macrame cord, so it's thick, but this is a crochet hook. So we're using macrame cord on crochet hook, something different. And we're just getting it onto our hook. And we're going to do a similar style to working in the round. So we're going to do chain 1, chain 2. So you should have 2 chains, and working in that first chain, we're going to do 6. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to work my tail into my work. The tail being the piece that was hanging from the project. So we're doing 6, and I'm working my tail in. If you can work your tail in, go ahead. So you should have, if you can't, you can cut it. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 6th chain being on your crochet hook. So in that first front and back loop right there, you're going to go through the front and back loop. Make sure you've got that front and back loop, and you're going to put 2 single crochets into that front and back loop, and you're going to do that all the way around. So this is my second one. Make sure you're grabbing the front and back loop. It's really important for this project that you do make sure you grab the front and the back loop, or it will not look right. And I worked my tail in, so I'm having a little bit of problem with that because it's very tight. So if you are having problems working your tail in and you want to cut it after the fact, you can do that, because sometimes the cord is very tight. So that's 4. Five. And macrame cord is very hard to work with. As you can even see, I'm experienced and I'm still having problems. So when you get all the way across, you should have 12 of these stitches, 12 stitches, and this is my tail right here. So I'm going to use my titanium, not my regular, because I want to make sure the titanium gets a nice clean cut. And what you want to do in the next one is you want to put a single crochet in the next one, and then 2 doubles. So far this is working in the round flat, and you are going to work in the round flat all the way around, a single and then 2 doubles, and you're going to do that all the way around. So this is my second set of single doubles, and then 3 a single, and then 2 singles in the next stitch. That's the third one I've done. A single, and then 2 singles in the next stitch. That's 4. So you can see it's working in the round flat. So I'm going to do a single and then 2 singles in the next. That's 5, a single, and 2 singles in the next, and that's 6. So when you get to the end of that round, I want you to go ahead and count and make sure you have 18 stitches all the way around. And if you have 18 stitches, you're with me. So I'm going to undo some of my macrame cord. And a small cord like this is just going to make a small basket. So if you want, I'm trying to think how much cord this is, but it's definitely not going to make a very big basket. So we've got 18 right now, and the next one we're going to do is a single, and 2 singles in the third one. So that's my first round, and you're going to do that 6 times. So a single, and then another single, and then 2 singles in the third one. So that's my second set of rounds. And then I'm doing a single and a single and 2 singles, and that's my third set of rounds. A single, and this is my 4th set of rounds, and 2 singles in the last one, in the last stitch, and then a single, and 2 singles in the last stitch, and then I'm on my number 6. So I've done this 6 times all the way around. A single, single. So this is the base. I'm done now. 2 singles in my last. This is the base of my bottom of my basket. So that's going to be the base that we work with for a small basket. Now, this is really important because before you can move on and move your basket up, you're going to work in the back loop, and you're going to just do a single all the way around. So you're doing a single, and you're working in the back loop. So you can see right there that the front stitch is kind of making the bottom base of this basket that you're making. So make sure you're working in the back loop, doing a single crochet stitch in each one. We're not adding any stitches. We're working in the back loop. And we're going all the way around. Now, if you don't know where you started and you need to put a place marker or a stitch marker, you can do that. So I encourage you to go ahead and do that. I'll be able to tell, because I've been doing this a while, when I get back, there's where I started. So I'll be able to tell when I get to the place I started. But if you're not sure, then before you start working in the back loop and doing the single stitches all the way around, that you go ahead and add your stitch marker or your safety pin or whatever piece of yarn, whatever you want, to make sure that you know where you started. Some people add a piece of yarn. Okay, so I see where I started right there. So what's happened with this is already, you can see my basket, my small basket, is starting to move upwards. Now, that was the base, because that's the bottom of your basket. So for this next one, you want to make sure that you go ahead and you do the front and back loop. So now we're going to grab the front and back loop. We just built the base of our basket, and you're going to put your space marker in if you need to, and you're going to go ahead and build the sides of your basket now. Make sure you're grabbing the front and back loop, and we're not adding any stitches, we're not subtracting any stitches. We're just doing a single stitch all the way around until you get back to the place that you started, and then we'll meet up when we get back there. Single stitch. So you can see already where that's starting to build. Now I can see where I started right here, so I'm still not to the end yet. You can use whatever color macrame cord that you desire. Some people like a natural jute looking cord. I just, for tutorial purposes, I just chose a yellow because it's nice and bright and shows up. So I have 1, 2, 3 more stitches till I'm back to where I started. Now the key to this, the key is, this is just the base of my basket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add as many rows as I want. I'm going to do some trim work at the end, but I'm going to add as many rows as I want to build this up. Now, I don't have to have a really tall basket. I can have a short one for like bobby pins or something like that. So go ahead and put your place marker in if you need to, your stitch marker, and we're going to do another row. We're just doing single crochets, taking the front and the back loop all the way around, holding it tight, making sure that your stitches are even. You want to make sure that when you're working with macrame cord that you're working in a very tight stitch. Some people end up putting a band-aid on their finger right here because the macrame cord is very abrasive and does tend to pull. And if you're working with that kind of cord, you can see where I started here. You can see where that single stitch. So I'm going to be back there in a minute. And then I can see where I want to go from there as far as. So when you're building up, you're not adding or deleting stitches. So there is 1, 2, 3 rows. Again, I could slip stitch off now, and that would make a really cute little ring basket holder or a safety pin holder or something like that. But I want to keep going, so I'm going to do another row. And if you want to hang out here with me, you can, because I'm going to do some trim work when I get to the end of this row. If you don't want to hang out with me, that's okay. Just keep going. You're just going to keep this amigurumi single stitch pattern going, and you just want to make sure you mark off where you started so you don't end up with a crooked basket, because that's where you don't want to do that. So you want to do this and keep going. And I'm going to just probably do a stitch across the top to just give it a trim border. So I'm almost back where I started. Just checking that out for me for a second. Now this is where I started. And what I've decided to do is I'm going to just go ahead and slip stitch this off, because that's the exact size all the way around of my basket. And you can see it's still a small basket, but it's cute. So I've decided what I want to do now is I'm going to just do another slip stitch over, so that looks nice and even. And to continue to create that nice border along the top, you just keep slip stitching over. And what it does is it gives you that nice border edge. It makes your basket very sturdy. So I'm just slip stitching across, literally across the entire basket. And again, you can see it's making it nice and tight so it's not flip-flopping. That slip stitch is making it really, giving it a real cool border look. Pulling it tight, just making sure you're holding it tight. Put the Band-Aid on your hand if you need to. Slip stitching it all the way across. If by the way, if you don't want it that tight and you want it to be a little floppier, just don't. I'm pulling the tension tight on mine, so mine will be tight across the top. If you don't want that kind of a tension and you want it to be looser, you just hold your macrame cord a little looser until I get back. Almost around. And I'm there. So I've made this really, really, really cute little basket. I'm going to pull up a little bit on this so you can see the basket itself, how cute it looks. And again, I'm going to do the same thing I do when I have my regular, and I've almost used all of that. So you can see a small thing of macrame cord is not going to go that far. You have to have like a double roll. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to get a larger, this is usually the size plastic hook that I use, and that's not going to work. So you need either a metal one. I don't advocate for metal because I don't like how they poke my fingers. I'm going to use a really thick, heavy-duty blue one. It's a lot larger than my other one. You can buy these for like 99 cents at the craft store, but you see the difference in size. And I'm literally just going to stitch it like I would if I were doing a... So in order to stitch this, there's a rule of thumb so that it doesn't come loose. When you work on this, you work down, across, and then up, because if you work 3 different ways stitching it up, it won't come undone. So I'm going to go ahead and take this down right now, and I'm going to work from the inside, because if I work from the inside and I make a mistake in it, it's not going to show. So you can see I'm working, not that I make a mistake, but you know, the yarn, because this is a thick cord, see, it will show a little bit more than the other when you stitch. So you work up, down, and sideways, and then if you have to wash something, it won't come apart. Probably won't wash a basket, but maybe it will. And I worked sideways. So there we are, nice and tight with a sore finger. And I have this really cute little bathroom basket. So I have a yellow bathroom, and I have this cute little basket that I can put bobby pins into. And I can hang it out by my jewelry box or my cosmetics. And it's an amigurumi bobby pin box. So anyways, I think that's really cute. I hope you had fun today, and I'll see you for the next crochet or macrame project. And please be sure to follow me at Lori's Handiwork on YouTube. Thank you.